Yo, what is up gamers? Today I wanted to bring you something a little bit different and just shine a spotlight on the new items coming in the trading post in May, because they've just been announced on Wowhead, and I will of course link this article in the description down below. Also, let me know what you think of this kind of video, because I'm trying something new, and I'd really appreciate some feedback in the comments. So type W video or W series or something so I know that this is good, and also like the video while you're down there. So let's jump straight into it, and I thought there's no better way to do that than to just show you the reward that everybody will be getting, so long as you fill the bar with the Trader's Tender, and that will be once you get to 1000 for the month. Of course, you will get a mount, and everybody loves mounts, so well done Blizzard for giving people free mounts. Everyone loves that, not having to choose whether they spend their Trader's Tender on transmog stuff or mounts. Obviously an extra mount here and there is great, but it's always nice to get like a guaranteed one just from playing the game. And this one is called the Savage Green Battle Turtle. I think it looks pretty cool from this picture. Maybe it's even cooler because there's a goblin riding it and it looks really, really big in comparison. Be interesting to see a Tauren on this. But yeah, it's like a green turtle. I don't think it is a recolor or anything. I think it's a completely new model from what I've seen. And it's kind of cool that it's got this little jetpack on it and then some spikes. So it's ready to go out for war. Very, very fast turtle, I hope, if we're using them for war. But yeah, let's jump into the rest of the items from the top. And there's also this cool table. If anyone, if you want to check, it shows you where they're from, the recolors and stuff, and the cost of all these items. We're going to go down through this, starting from the top. We've got a battle pet called Pippin, which I believe is a recolor from a pet called Alamo Dog. I'm not sure where that one's from, but this one looks pretty cool. I'm personally not a battle pet collector myself, or pet collector myself, but I do enjoy seeing them in the trading post because they always look really cool, like the Egg Bob one we just had this month in April. And this one, I think if you're a pet collector in WoW right now, trading post is only a win all around for you really, or transmog collector. Then we have a cloak called the High Priestess's Ceremonial Drape. This one's kind of cool because personally I'm a big fan of like the classic shaped cloaks. I don't like all these newer models that we get with the like knives coming out and like bits missing and stuff like that. I like a nice square drape, just like the good old days in classic. And it's cool to have that kind of style, but with a little bit of extra kind of particle effects. Like we got this golden thing here with this little red gem in it, so that's kind of awesome. Then we have that one's 50 Trader's Tender, by the way. Then we have the Huntsman's Recurve bow, which is just pretty much a basic bow if you're into RPing and you want to just look like a hunter that literally just came out of the forest with nothing too crazy and complicated. Then this might be your one to go with. 50 Trader's Tender for that one. Then we have a similar looking kind of basic knife, something maybe you'd want to kill like a shark with. So if you've got like a shark hunter transmog coming up, maybe you want to consider the Sharpened Shank. This one's 50 Trader's Tender as well. Pretty basic, but it's just like sometimes basic is good. Like that broadsword that we just had in April, the bastard sword. That one's awesome because I literally feel like I'm out of Game of Thrones or something. So then you got the Ensemble Vagabond's Snowy Threads. This seems to show just one item, but it said Ensemble, so it makes me think there's multiple. There's a hood and a cloak. So, oh, right, okay. So I think the hood is this shawl looking thing here that just goes kind of around your neck. And then the cloak is like an attachment. So you could just wear the shawl, or you could just wear the cloak, or you could wear both together. So that's nice to have the option that it doesn't like put both on and you have to have one, like both at the same time. You can just choose to have like a little scarf if you're feeling cold on a winter's day. And then you got the Ensemble Wondrous Snowy Trappings, hood and cloak as well. So there's a little kind of bit more of a frayed cloak on this one. If you've been out in the wilderness or whatever, and a white kind of like Arctic looking hood here. I think we had something similar a couple months ago, being like a darker version of this. So it's nice to have like the option between light and dark. Maybe you could even mix and match if you're going for that kind of theme, which is cool. 100 Trader's Tender for that as well. And then onto what I think is like a really, really cool item for kind of a bargain, I think. And I think it's a new, unique item, like a new model completely, and unique to these. It's called the Sunbleached Grimskull Kinch and the Well-Worn Grimskull Kinch. So there's two different versions of this. You can, if you want both, you will have to shell out 200 Trader's Tender, or you could just do with one and be like, which one's more versatile for my transmogs or whatever. if you want to save some tender there. But I think these are really, really cool because usually models like this are kind of kept to plate wearing classes like DK's warriors and stuff. You know, you have like DKs, they love skulls. I think we have like some of the tier belts and stuff, or like tier off piece. They have like this kind of looking belt on it or skull on it. Nice that now I assume this will be a universal item that just says belt, doesn't say like an armor type or anything like that. So I'm hoping that we can put this on any armor type that we want, and I think it'll just look good. I think personally it'll look really good on like a hunter. I know that one of my hunter transmogs uses like one of those like shoulders where it's just like one big like skull, ram skull on one shoulder. This belt could be a great, you know, accompaniment to that. So I really do enjoy these. They're just slight recolors of one another, but I'd say really, really solid item. Then we have the Merciless Trapper staff, which looks a bit weird from this angle, but there is a better picture of it up here. At the top of the page, there are a couple different, you know, models of the weapons and some of the other stuff. So this is what it looks like from above. It seems to kind of be held in your hand horizontally. So if you look down on it, it is quite wide and looks almost like kind of like a mixture between horns and like a pitchfork. So looks kind of cool. Personally, I wouldn't invest in it myself, but nice if you're into that. And it is a staff, so it will go on your back, and I assume it will probably look like this on your back. It will go sideways, so it probably will look really cool on your back. And then we've got another pirate hat. This one's called the Crimson Bicorne, and yeah, it's kind of pirate hat that looks a little bit like troll themed or Aztec themed, kind of like Zandalari-esque or Pirates of the Caribbean-ish, with those like gold pieces. So I kind of like that. It's cool. My gut is like, it's just another pirate hat, and then, you know, the other part of me is like, but you need all of the pirate hats, right? So this one kind of cool. 175 traders tender those, so if you got some to spare, maybe pick that one up. Then we've got the Black Iron Blunderbuss, which is, I think, a recolor from Warlords of Draenor. I believe it's the Iron Docks, just because we had that one, you know, last season at the end of Shadowlands. I remember getting this one on one of my characters. Yeah, it's like an orange. There's an orange version, I think, and this one's a red one. So if you are more into blood than fire, then maybe pick this one up. But it is 200 traders tender. Then we have a really cool item, in my opinion, Lost Crown of the Arcane. I think it's a similar or even the same and like recolored version of the Crown of Flame, which is yes, it is. It is a recolor of the Crown of Flame from Firelands. I think it's really cool though. It'll be interesting to see if this is like an armor type one, or you can literally wear it on anything. I think it would look really good on like a mage, because it's got like arcane and it still has like a fiery glow to it. So I think that's really, really cool. Definitely, I will be picking this one up myself. But that is a really sick item, especially for just 200. And then we have this sword, which looks like a glaive, but it's actually a sword, called Tisels Wing. Now there's another higher quality picture, or, you know, different picture of it up here if you want to have a look at that. But apparently this is a completely new item, and it was like on some of the Arakoa in Warlords of Draenor. That's like the last time that we saw that, you know, around like the Sky Fury dungeon and stuff. So kind of cool that they're bringing this, and usually items that look like this are like Demon Hunter specific ones. So really cool that it's actually a sword, and hopefully you can use it on like a warrior, a rogue, stuff like that. And what would be interesting to me is to see if it sheaths on your back or on your waist, because I think it would look a bit silly sheathed on your waist. So it'd be really awesome if it's sheathed on your back and you kind of just pull them off your back. Really cool, because you don't get many options to do that on like rogues, warriors, Death Knights, stuff like that. It's quite hard to find back sheath weapons, and usually demon hunters get all the fun with that, and monks. So almost there now. Then we have Fang in the Mountain, which is another one-handed sword. Kind of expensive, to be honest. 400 traders tender for this. It's just a recolor of a Warlords of Draenor sword. I think it's like a caster sword that you get in I think it is Blackrock Foundry. And yeah, I think they've got like a red one and like an orange one baseline in the game already, and it's just a purple one if you're a big fan of purple. I am myself, but I would not part 400 for this. But there you go. If you want that option, that's great. Then we have really, really cool armor sets. Now we're moving on to the full ensembles here. The Kvaldir Scout Shoulders, sorry, Scout Leathers. Full set of leather gear, I believe, for the price of 750 tender. It looks inspired by Walls of Valor and Trial of Valor. It might even be based on the Chosen or the Trial of Valor raid that we had back in Legion, because this one I know is as well. The next one, the Ensemble Vestment of the Honored Valarjar. This one is the cloth, a recolor of the cloth set that you got from killing, I want to say Herja, but it's Helya, back in the 3-boss mini raid that we had in Legion called the Trial of Valor. Now, this one looks cool, and up here on these extra pictures, this one seems to have like 2 variations. It looks like it's a cloth set, because I remember the cloth one looked like this with the big disc on his wrist. But there's a robe version, and then it looks like there's actually a color themed, you know, in a similar style with a chest that's not a robe. It looks like, you know, this goes together, but it doesn't count as a robe. So it's kind of cool that you could take the robe off and still have a kind of like a battle mage look with this. I think that's awesome personally. So I might even pick that one up myself, because I'm going to be playing mage next tier. But yeah, then you got leather version as well, slightly different but cool, with like the pockets and stuff on the belt and the feather. I like that. I think that's really cool. It's quite sneaky for, you know, a couple of the leather classes. And that's it for this month. Down below here, there's just ways it's telling you, you know, what would be a really, really good way to pick up the Trader's Tender. You've got like a couple of events like Darkmoon Fair, Children's Week, and stuff like that, and it just tells you some activities. So if you want to read this and read a bit more about it, I'll link it down below, as I said. But yeah, let me know what you think about this kind of video. Let me know if I did them justice. Let me know your opinions on these items, and if you want me to do this monthly, let me know. I'm just kind of trying something out, throwing something at the wall. Maybe it'll stick, maybe it won't. But do let me know in the comments if you like it, and like the video so it could spread to more people who maybe are interested in it. All right, see you in the next one, and as always, have a great day. Peace.